All right, hello everyone. Can you all hear me? All right, I think we're back, and I think my mic also might have just jumped up to 100. No, it's good. Okay. All right, we're all good. So welcome everyone. For a third time, we're gonna give this a shot. Division A match. Gimme the D Shield versus Nightwood, and I have brought along a co-caster Munkus. I apologize for his image not being there, but apparently that's what was somehow, even without having a camera on you, Munkus, you look too good. It's still breaking the stream.
Yeah, I'm too sexy for the stream. Too sexy for the stream.
It's true. Speaking of sexy, we're gonna go over to the map selections tool provided by one of the coolest guys I know, Mr. Weenus. We're gonna take a look at the map bans here. We had Gimme the D Shield banning out Alterac Pass, Nightwood banning out Dragonshire, and then Tomb of the Spider Queen picked up as map number 1 here for Gimme the D Shield.
So they're kind of limiting the more larger maps and kind of focusing on the smaller maps. Tomb of the Spider Queen is probably the second smallest map aside from Battlefield of Eternity, which is, by virtue of being 2 lanes, technically is smaller. Though I think that Tomb of the Spider Queen is a smaller vertical. Getting from top to bottom is faster here than even on a 2-lane map.
All right, so we are going into game number 1. Gimme the D Shield on the left, Nightwood on the right. This is the map pick for Gimme the D Shield. Ooh, did I get it backwards? So this should be first pick for Nightwood if this was Gimme the D Shield's map pick. I almost wonder if we're going to get a DC. Either that or I have it wrong. Let me just check into that real quick.
Well, first ban Diablo, it's a pretty standard ban here. There's a lot of walls, a lot of things for him to slam and jam on. A Nubrak, another standard ban. He can go in, he can engage. If you play him correctly, he's just like Diablo, except no walls needed.
Yeah, so the teams are definitely on the right side, but either way, yeah, a Nubrak banned out. On the other side, the Jaina in response here. So Jaina getting some attention here in the early ban phases. And of course Azmodan. Nobody likes playing against it. Very easy for him to stack on this map. And I don't know, I really like the Anubarak ban. He's been feeling very OP lately, especially with those beetles and his ability to aid in the push in these minion waves.
Oh, Anubarak also has a decently high clear ability, and both sides focused. Interestingly, both got rid of a good dive tank, and both got rid of a good map objective hero that was good at clearing the lanes. And the blue team picked up Johanna, which is a great tank for bringing the mobs in and helping clear. Orphea, also a great mage for clearing away the minions. You can go either the E build or the W build. I think they just very recently nerfed her E build a little bit.
Yeah, you talk about each role's capacity for wave clearing. Johanna, the highest wave clear tank. Rhaegar, probably the highest wave clear support, even after some of his wave clear nerfs. Orphea, any mage is going to have great wave clear, but she's definitely one of the best. Especially when she's able to get up close to the wave. And then we're going to see Malfurion and Raynor in response. So a little bit of CC, a little bit of sustain in the lane. And I like that ban out as well from Nightwood, as they have their mage already in their main wave clear. So they're going to deny the Kael'thas to further choke out the options for Gimme the D Shield.
Kael'thas is really great on this map. He can easily delete a wave with an empowered living bomb, and then a Q, and then another living bomb, and boom, that's an entire wave gone. Very short order. Fighting around Kael'thas can be difficult for a lot of teams. Spreading the bobs can be deadly. So just getting rid of him, especially with a Malfurion who can keep you rooted down, and Johanna who can keep you locked down.
Meanwhile, on the other side, Gimme the D-Shield going to go ahead and apply the tank chokehold here. With Anubarak out, Diablo, they take Muradin and Johanna off the board. They're going to be left with Garrosh as a response, but I will say this much, the Garrosh, very good combo with the Orphea. If you can lock her down, if you can lock anybody on the enemy team down with the toss and then the Groundbreaker, Orphea can do a number on them in the back line there.
That's a good point. So far, it's a lot of squishy in the backline, so you might not necessarily think that you want to be throwing people back there, but you could throw them into the maw of Orpheus W, and they can just get devoured.
Right. It's hard to do damage when you're dead, but we are going to see the Stitches coming out here. Probably
0 DPS.
Yeah, exactly. Stitch is probably going to be the solo lane here. For the side of Gimme the D-Shield. Can also allow for some extra displacement for a lot of those squishies. And out comes the Zeratul from Nightwood. We've been seeing more and more of this Zeratul as we start off this week 1 in NGS.
I'm not sure how much scouting these two teams have done of each other, because these are pretty standard bans. And as a friend of mine likes to say, if you know the other team has a Zeratul, just ban the Zeratul.
Right.
Don't try to deal with him. This is a great map for Zeratul.
Yeah, this might be an expensive lesson here for Gimme the D-Shield if they didn't properly scout out the fact that Mr. Papercut, team captain for Nightwood, actually does play the Zeratul. We'll see exactly how well he plays it, I suppose. We don't want to make any undue conclusions, but he picks it up here in Game 1. He's probably pretty confident with it.
Well, two things to keep in mind here. One, Zeratul, great wave clear. He can pop in and out of the lanes really fast. He can secure kills with people grouped up all the time. His cleave build is really great. But also, that is some really tanky front line on the blue team side. He has to dive all the way back to get Gul'dan or Malfurion. Raynor can just queue him away. He can hit his E and heal himself up. It's hard to take him down.
Alright, well, we are loading in here to game number 1, Tomb of the Spider Queen. On the left, we're going to have Gimme the D-Shield with Pandorana on the Malfurion. Zlacho is going to be on the Raynor. Samwise on the Gul'dan. Bashing is going to be on the Stitches. And we're going to have Nutster, 91, playing the... who is that under there? The Gul'dan?
No, that's Samwise. Oh, Garrosh.
Garrosh.
No, not Garrosh. Johanna. That's it.
Okay.
Getting the teams mixed
They're all standing just a little bit too close. But anyway, on the right, go ahead for Nightwood.
And Nightwood on the right side, red team. We have Legacy on Garrosh. We have Rhaegar as Skillosaur, Bujake as Lunara, Far from Pukin as Orphea, and Mr. Papercut as Zeratul.
So right away, Legacy just getting completely blown up here.
Deleted. That is not the start you want to have if you're Nightwood.
Yeah, both solo laners going to rotate down to the bot. Looks like for now, they're going to have the Zeratul down here. They could also decide to eventually rotate possibly the Lunara to come cover the bot lane. Maybe have Zeratul roam. A lot of options here for Nightwood.
We have two interesting picks for level 1 talents, I think. Orphea went on point, which is Shadow Waltz does 75% more damage at the end of her Q. Oftentimes I see people go with the increased damage to slowed or CC targets. And Johanna went hold your ground. Usually I see people go with the health regeneration at 1.
Yeah, so right away the clapback here from Nightwood as they get a quick kill onto the Malfurion, or onto the Raynor, I should say. And then we're going to see also a huge engage and damage onto the Johanna. So right now, Nightwood rotating his 4 very cleanly and utilizing that Garrosh exactly how they want to be.
Interesting that they have Zeratul in the off lane here. That's perfectly fine, but I would think that Zeratul would be roaming around. Yeah, he's rotating up mid, trying to secure some ganks and kills.
Speaking of which, Malfurion gets tossed in, isolated, and blown up. Lunara able to finish off that kill very nicely.
Yeah. When Zeratul comes in to say hi, you want to say goodbye.
There you go. Words to live by, for sure. We are seeing the 4-man rotate back up. Slight level lead right now for Nightwood, but that can be accounted in the one kill. Both teams kind of low here as they start poking back and forth.
Paper cut, blinks away, throws down the disrespect spray. Wow, if he's not Zeratul, I think he's dead in the bottom lane.
Yeah, Zlachio able to survive up in the top lane as well. So right now, both teams being a little bit more cautious, trying to feel each other out a little bit more patiently. But Johanna at almost perpetually low health so far in this game. We'll have to see if they can figure out something to keep her a little healthier as the game goes along.
Yeah, she's not Garrosh. She doesn't get more armor with lower health.
And she's always got that Irish skin available. But we do see the tap coming out now for Lunara on the other side. Meanwhile, Legacy getting poked pretty low. He does get that armor, but also probably doesn't want to be sitting at that third health, 33% health if he can help it.
Right. Let's see. Allegrissimo. That's a standard, I think, when you have Orphea with the on point. Siphoning Toxin. So, look. Does that mean that Lunara is not going PvE damage? I'm not super familiar with her talents. I don't know if that's if level 4 is the talent tier that you need to get the PvE damage. If so, that is an interesting choice.
Yeah, it gives a little bit of extra sustain, can help out with the Rhaegar healing, but yeah, definitely going to suffer in the wave clear department, which, to be fair, Nightwood has plenty of wave clear as is. Mainly taken as a camp taking tool, and also can be very strong on PvE heavy maps like BOE.
Oh no!
Yeah, Zeratul going to be sad that he rotated up to the mid after he comes back on this rotation, because going to take the kill. 2 for 2 on the board now as each team splitting the kills, but a huge hook comes down onto Orphea, having to walk away. Will be able to make it out though.
Orphea is on point with her on point. She is dealing tons of damage. Landing it, she almost had Johanna all the way down.
Yeah, when you can go toe-to-toe with Johanna and almost take her out, it's a pretty good day. You know, once again, Legacy getting poked down pretty low. The hook comes in, but the toss in return, but that's just going to allow for some body blocks.
Oh,
Legacy
no!
does end up going down, just barely falling at the wall.
Oh, I thought that the blue team had secured that turn-in, but no, it's the red web weavers that are out right now.
Yeah, first turn-in going over to Nightwood here. They're going to be pushing primarily in the bot and mid lanes. Mid lane, or top lane, kind of doing its own thing. Mid lane gets cleared out here by the members of Gimme the D-Shield.
Yeah, people often like to focus top because you get the boss there and that's your win condition, but you can't sleep on the bottom lane. Those siege giants in the bottom lane can very easily control and dominate the lane and push it all the way in.
Yeah, also because of the way the map is kind of shaped, the bot lane gets the least attention, so you tend to have a lot of waves building up in that bot lane, especially now with the mechanic of the fort going down. You get a catapult out of every 3 waves. So if those start to build up after a while, you can start to see the front walls of the keeps be threatened as teams fight over the turn-ins and the boss and the top 2 lanes, with bottom just kind of being forgotten a lot of the time in the mid to late game.
Nightwood did not get a ton of value, not a ton of push out of their web weavers. They took out the bottom wall, took out the bottom towers and the bottom well, but towers and well are still in the other 2 lanes, and only the wall is down on the top lane.
Yeah, we'll see the blue web weavers coming out now for Gimme the D-Shield, so they'll get their opportunity to get a little bit of extra push back on this as they look to push in primarily the mid lane is where they're focusing for the moment.
Orphea did go Ravenous Hunger, so she's not going with that extra W kill potential by hitting somebody who's slowed. She has an interesting mix of on point and ravenous hunger.
We do see gank in the top lane as
Orphi
they're going
comes
after
out.
Raynor.
That is a dead Orphea.
So trade out Orphea in the mid lane for Raynor in the top lane. Meanwhile, Nightwood doing a nice job of being able to clear up these web weavers, not giving up too much on any of these structures. Bottom fairly unprotected, but did have to go through the whole wall, so we'll give the opportunity for Lunara to rotate down and clean up that mess.
Yeah. I think Lunara's talent choice at forward 7 is pretty interesting. The build that I am used to seeing is the PvE damage at 4 and then Splintered Spear to spread that poison around at 7. She went Wild Vigor at 7, increasing her basic attack, her next 4 basic attack damage whenever she uses Crippling Spore. So more focused on a singular target rather than spreading it out. That might be to counter the Malfurion heal over times that he can put up on multiple targets.
Yeah, I think it also is focused on their comp in general, which is a flip one target, isolate them with Garrosh, and then focus down one target at a time. So I think Lunara kind of picking the talents based on how the setup's going to come from the tank.
And Orphea went Eternal Feast, which means, yep, Eritol went Void Prism.
Ooh.
They are going for some pretty big wombo here.
As we see Orphea with a very nice Q to be able to get away from that last second Horrify, trying to isolate her, but she scoots across, dodges it, and gets out just fine there in the mid lane.
Wow, yeah, these are both wombo combo teams. We have a Hyperion coming out, Putrid Bile, everything but the Twilight Dream has been used, and Orphea goes down.
Yeah, another nice into the fray there from Legacy. Gets to get her out, the Ancestral to come down, but she just goes right back in and gets blown up a second time. So only one Ancestral in the bank to give her that second life. But now we're going to see the mid fort going down. The top fort is going to be under duress here as the Web Weavers are pushing. At bottom, Web Weaver also still pushing back out of the bot lane.
Yeah, the focused their defense mainly on the top, and they got rid of most of the Web Weavers, but with Orphea dead, they just had to back out and give up that fort.
5-3 on the kill counts right now. Just like about a half level lead here for Gimme the D-Shield. They're going to have the 13 talents here, though, to be able to try to engage if they want, but mostly it's going to give them the opportunity to really goaltend here as they're able to go back and forth and really deny this next turn-in from Nightwood.
Oh, and that is another fort down. So all 3 forts are down. That means pressure is going to be coming in. We really need to see some Web Weavers come out from Red Team. They have 75 gems.
Mr. Papercut does get the end of the fray right at the last second. Gonna be able to make it out. Legacy getting hooked back in. The fear comes down as well. He is gonna end up getting the Ancestral
Zones!
He lives through that as Bashing getting very low on the other side. The turnaround is real here from Nightwood.
The turnaround is real. They're in full retreat. Oh man, their health is so low. Malfurion has no mana.
Yeah, that's a rough patch there for Malfurion. Can't throw out the Qs, can't Moonfire to get the extra heals, and Nightwood takes that fight, turns it around very nicely. They're going to get the 13 talent tier off of that, but most importantly, it really stops that denial on the turn-in. They get their Web Weavers coming out now. They'll finally be able to put some pressure on these structures.
They managed to stabilize. Now they need to get something out of this Web Weaver. They need to get some forts down. But top lane, that Web Weaver is gone. It's squashed.
Yeah, they continue to focus their efforts on the top lane. Bottom lane, we're definitely going to see that fort going down. A little bit of damage to the front wall, but again, the huge wave clear coming in from Gimme the D-Shield's comp. They're going to be able to clear that out without even losing a tower in the mid.
Oh yeah, that Rainer with the high single target damage, Gul'dan with the high AoE damage, they just are melting these critters.
Yeah, Stitches and Johanna also. But you see the three-man VP coming down, though.
Is it a wombo?
Here comes the internal hunger. Oh, but a huge Horrify on the other side. They drag him in, and the Twilight Dream comes down, and all that's going to end up from that one is a dead Orphea on the other side out of that huge VP.
You hate to see that happen. All those resources. Oh, man! Ancestral Healing comes out, but he had minus 30% healing from the Malfurion. Oh, no!
Oh, as my good friend Myrtle likes to say, you hate to see it. Another hook onto Garrosh. They're doing a better job of isolating Garrosh than the other way around here as they head into the mid-game. And 2 kills for the sides of Gimme the D-Shield. And they're going to go ahead and claim their prize up in the top lane by grabbing this boss.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Garrosh is a guy who loves to chuck, whereas Stitches is a guy who loves to catch. Just... and right now, in this battle, it's the catcher who's winning the fights, not the pitcher.
The hunter has become the hunted. And meanwhile, Blessed Shield hook right into the boss stun.
Oh no!
Well, we'll say this much. Orphea did stay alive for a little while there, but does end up going down eventually. Condemn gonna come in, self-cleanse from the Garrosh though. Legacy running away with everything he's got, but the Rhaegar gets hooked. He's gonna try to wolf form out.
Oh, that is a fear! That is an on-point fear. 15-16 talent difference. Oh no, they're gonna be threatening to end here.
Yeah, they're pushing in the top lane with this boss. They get the front wall down. Huge hook once again as Legacy does end up getting, wow, 5-man VP to block
5-man VP! If only they had some follow-up there, that would be beautiful!
Meanwhile, top keep is not long for this world. Mid is pushing on the other side of the map, but yeah, it looks like for right now, Gimme the D-Shield not going to try and end just yet.
That was a beautiful Void Prison, but Orphea was back up with Eternal Feast in just 5 seconds later after it was down. And now Void Prison is gone for a whole minute.
Yeah, things starting to even out a little bit here. Good defense overall from Nightwood there. If they had lost a few more players, that could have maybe been the end of the game. Definitely, it wasn't a very good shot to try and save that keep. But we will see the pull-in. Hook ends up landing actually on the Lunara. Great root coming down from Pandy. And we are going to see the double leaping strike, though, from Boo on the other side to get out of dodge. Mr. Papercut flanking around. Woo! That hook was close.
Gary was so far out of position that he had to run towards the enemy team's lane. Oh, and he's going to escape with his life.
Meanwhile, the members of Gimme the D-Shield can go ahead and take a step back, grab themselves a camp. They need 2 more gems for turn-in. And meanwhile, on the other side, Nightwood only needing 1 more. They definitely want to try to find something to force here, though, before level 20s can come into play for Gimme the D-Shield.
Yes, oh no, here comes that last gem. And with that, are they gonna turn it? Yeah, here it comes. Oh, I think that's 2 or 3 back-to-back web weavers from the Gimme the D-Shield. Oh man.
And you're also going to have the spell power with the camp here in the mid lane pushing as they look to secure themselves a second keep in this matchup. And that's kind of how Tomb of the Spider Queen works. You really have to kind of bleed your enemy dry. The map objective is not that strong, except it's good at pushing structures when aided. So they're looking to maybe just get a second keep, really control the map and the vision as much as they can to set up for a later win condition.
Hell, it looks like they're going all in on this bottom push and gonna let the top push in, maybe get some damage on the core, but really focusing on getting this mid keep down. Void Prison comes out. Internal Feast is down. Gary eats the pavement. And this is a rough position to be in if you're Knight Wood. Oh no, a hook!
Hook does come down onto Rhaegar, condemned to seal him in. The root will seal his fate permanently, though. Rhaegar goes down, and with 2 members down here, Gimme the D-Shield marching in after the core. The shields go down 80% now as they start to work on this core. They're trying to zone them away. They're not getting much help from the minions, but the GGs are being called as slowly this core is going to melt down to 0.
I think if you're Gimme the D-Shield, you want to be taking camps right now. Just go back and start taking those camps.
They are going to be able to finish off the core. Game 1 going over to Gimme the D-Shield.
Yes, with a rather commanding victory. It was a bit of a slow start, a bit of a back and forth, trading off kills, and then D-Shield kept landing their hooks. They kept getting their chain combos in. I hate to even say wombo combo because they weren't waiting for big blow-up buttons. They were just doing methodical bang, bang, you're dead, bang, bang, you're hooked, you're root, you're dead. You rooted, you hooked, you dead.
Yeah, very good combos, good coordinated play from Gimme the D-Shield there. You know, signs of life from Nightwood in a lot of those mid-fights. Big Void Prisms, a couple good kills and defenses there, but overall, I think you're right. You know, commanding victory from Gimme the D-Shield. I think they were in control pretty much the whole game without too much worry of ever being in a rough spot there. And we'll have to see if Nightwood can make any adjustments here for game number 2.
All right, so let's look at these stats. These are some very interesting stats. Rhaegar is one of the higher damage output healers. He only did 6,000 damage overall. That's less than Garrosh. It's the lowest out of both teams. Lunara did not die at all, did about 40,000 damage, whereas Orphea, big, huge damage, big wave clear, 120,000 wave clear PvE damage, 67,000, nearly 68,000 hero damage. That's as much as the next 2 players on her team combined. It's more than the other team. She just was pumping out damage. It just was not enough. Whereas, Gimme the D-Shield, they had, look at this, 48,000 from Raynor, 38,000 from Gul'dan, 28,000 from Stitches, and 17,000. A nearly even ladder down. 48, 38, 28, 17.
Well, thank you very much for providing all of the numbers, because for some reason I glitched out on the loadout screen and had a bunch of zeros. But well done. That was good stuff. All right, well, let's go ahead, and we're already in lobby here for game number 2. So let's take a look at the maps update as we do see Volskaya Foundry going to be picked here for game number 2. By the way, let's go ahead and give the win over to Tomb of the Spider Queen for Gimme the D-Shield while we're at it. But yeah, very, very different map here. You know, Wave Clear still a premium, as it is on pretty much any map in Heroes of the Storm. But the big thing here is sustaining on the points. So we'll have to see which team can set that up the best as they go in.
This is the big blow-up comp. This is the big positioning map where it's all about. It's a very snowbally map with how strong the Protector is. You win the objective 1, and with that you take out the well for the next objective, and because of that you win that objective and take out the well for the next objective, and from there you win the game. So it will be interesting to see what kind of area damage that they do. I would not be surprised to see another Orphea pick. I don't think the Zeratul worked out for them, though.
No, you know, surprisingly, we've seen a lot of good Zeratul. I just don't know if they had the combo for it. I feel like they maybe needed something a little bit more frontline. to be able to absorb some of those hooks and some of that engagement from Johanna. But
I agree.
But just not enough combo off of the VP. And in general, they just weren't able to find those isolated kills enough of the time that they wanted that game. They found it a few times, but just not quite enough to win the game.
Right. I would have liked to have seen... I don't think I ever saw a taunt landed on multiple members into the Eternal Feast. I would have loved to have seen that. I would have loved to see maybe some another stun like Imperious or Slow to keep people in Orphea's Eternal Feast. Maybe even a Malfurion or a Stukov to add in more roots and control to the area.
Yeah, also a lot of denial, I feel like, from the Malfurion and that Twilight Dream. When the engagements did happen off of those VPs from Nightwood, there were a lot of turnaround mechanics that Gimme the D-Shield would just throw at Nightwood and be able to turn those team fights around. But either way, we are getting in here to game number 2. What are you looking for out of these teams when it comes to Volskaya Foundry?
Well, I think in priority, you want to get, number 1, heroes with excellent team fight abilities. Then number 2, you want heroes that do good wave clear, maybe, or at least pump out damage onto the protector. And then 3, heroes that are good at doing camps. If you can steal the other team's camp, then that can be really big. Having 2 turrets and the opposing team has 1 or none, that's amazing coming into this.
Alright, Murky with Bribe, let's go.
Murky with Bribe. Interesting Lucio and Abathur ban. Abathur, very strong with soaking the lanes, so, but he's also not a hero that anybody can play, so maybe they did do some scouting here. Maybe Gimme the D-Shield is aware of a pocket Abathur from Nightwood.
And we're going to see Sylvanas snap-locked here from Gimme the D-Shield. Very interesting first pick by Samwise. We don't see a ton of Sylvanas, but when we do see her, we don't typically see her so highly prioritized.
No, I would have said prioritize Kael'thas, because when you have to fight on those points, then the bomb gets spread and you get dead.
Also, with the ban on Lucio, I would have expected some kind of prioritization on a support pick, possibly in Alex Straza, something with good sustain, good early game healing. The Ana gets picked up on the other side, though, and we're actually going to see Gimme the D-Shield not even caring about supports in the first half of this draft.
Oh, I love the Mephisto grab. It's a similar line of thinking to Kael'thas, where they have to be fighting in that little box, in the box of pain, as we might call it, and so they're going to get hit by all of those abilities from Mephisto, and there's just no escape.
Do you mind if I steal that? I think I'm going to steal that. Box of pain. I love it.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta put your hand into the box of pain.
We're going to see Muradin coming out here from Nightwood, along with Leoric, so securing themselves a very strong front line here to be able to
to level 13, and they didn't touch it at all to change it. So, yeah, Leoric has a bit of a power spike at 13 comparatively. Imperious, I love that grab. Imperious does as much damage as any of the other characters out right now.
Meanwhile, Stukov picked up as their support, so they were looking for that kind of sustained healing. Didn't want to see the Lucio on the other side, but we're still going to see some pretty good sustained healing from Ana, especially post-rework. Eye of Horus still banned, so there's automatically going to be the nano boost, probably on the Kael'thas, but it wouldn't be terrible on the Hanzo.
It could be either one. Those are both great targets, and from Gimme the D-Shield, they have just a lot of different options on what to do. I think that Mephisto's going to go Dirge of Hate and lock people down, rooted with big damage. Stukov will have them silenced. Sylvanas will be pumping them up with dots. It'll be glorious and painful.